Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase. Coming to you from the woods again. But let's take a look at this. Oh man, again, I didn't really want to do a video today, but the way price action moved overnight feels like I have to. Last night was fun. I was watching the Pacquiao fight. Good thing he won. That was great. 40 years old, oldest, well, not the oldest champion ever, but in his division, I believe. I think this is like his, although he's won belts in that division before, but it was a really cool fight. All right. See some somewhat familiar names in the live chat. What's on my head? My mohawk. Still playing around with the hair. All right, let's I don't know if anyone's going to join us on this one. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out together. Let me do this. And that's muted. Let me pause that. And let's go screen share. As usual, we begin with my webinars and workshops. There's one webinar coming up on risk and account management. And there's also an in-person workshop out in Dallas on August 16th. Still formulating my calendar for October. Wheels are turning slowly, but you can see where I am next month. And I will be, well, that's the webinar. And then I will be at Futurist and Toronto, and then BitBlock Boom in Austin, Texas. Taking the summer off from an intense travel schedule, but I'll be back to a crazy travel schedule as of September. Okay. If you guys want to support, check out the affiliate page. All right. Let's go to the weekly chart. The weekly candle, while being on a green 6 yesterday, is now back to a red price flip. It is really, really important where this weekly candle will close tonight. Really important to me. It doesn't have to be important to you. It's important to me where it closes tonight. There are two things I'm looking for in this candle's close. Whether it's a green 6 or a red 1, at the moment, red 1. The other thing I'm looking for is whether it closes above or below this moving average. The moving average currently sits at 1,000, just above $1,000. But if we fall below, sorry, $10,000. But if we fall below $10,000, then that moving average will drop a little bit. Basically, if the current price is falling, then this will slightly get adjusted, not by much, but you just have to be aware of that. Like, this is a dynamic point. So if we close below 10,000, that is very, very bearish. It would be a red 1 and a close below the moving average. If we close above the moving average, that is still bullish from Consensio perspective, as Tyler likes to call it, but bearish or neutral, I should probably say, from the sequential perspective. Let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart is the really important one. This was the line in the sand that I drew yesterday. And I said going above this line in today's candle makes me bullish. Now, of course, people want to pre-jump trades. I don't know why, but they do. This is where patience and is critical. All you did was pull up to prior levels of the breakdown level. So when yesterday's candle towards the end of the day jumped above my green line, what I would have done is raise the green line to whatever the high of that candle was. The high of that candle looks like $11,120. When I did this video yesterday, it was $11,050. So now my entry point into a bullish trade becomes $11,120 on today's candle. If today's candle is not breaking that level, I can then lower that level to the top of today's candle and look to enter the bullish trade tomorrow. That's how I trade. You don't have to trade how I would trade it. Okay, now I'm not actually going to trade it because I don't know where I'll be tomorrow, so I may not be around the market. Not to mention there are other reasons, like I don't like to risk my Bitcoin on exchanges. But if I was a full-time trader and wasn't replying to 800 messages per day, that is the bullish trade that I would enter. You can say, well, Tone, wouldn't you have entered the same trade right here on this green 2 going above this green 1, and you would have gotten wrecked? Well, my answer is yes, I would have entered that trade as well. That's why I went bullish in this area last time, but I would not have gotten wrecked because not only do I know risk and money management and entries, exits, and stop losses, I teach that stuff. So you might have gotten wrecked by doing the same trade that I would do, but I would not. I would just potentially even make money on a failed trade because I would have raised my stop loss to break even. You can say, well, Tone, wouldn't you have gotten wrecked the prior time a green 2 went above a green 1 right here on this candle on July 4th? And my answer would have been, yes, I probably was interested in entering that trade as well. And one of two things would have happened. Either I would have set a stop loss lower than this low right there, and I would have still been in this trade as it whipped back around above my entry point, in which case I would have been comfortable adding to that trade to make up for the lost opportunity of being in a losing trade for 4 days. That's one possibility. Another possibility, I would have been stopped out early, lost a little bit of money, and entered back again over here on a green 2 above a green 1. The worst case scenario is I would have gotten stopped out on that trade at the bottom tick of this 3 candle. And if that would have happened, my answer would have been next trade, next asset. I'll take this trade again and again and again, okay? There will always be losing trades. The question is, can you mentally and financially handle a losing trade? Those that can't don't last very long as traders. So what am I looking at now? Well, nothing. As long as we stay under this 11,100 zone, there's nothing to do for me, okay? If I go to the 12-hour chart, we are back in the no trade zone. I don't like the CMF here. It's not looking good, but the price action will always be king, and if the price action is good, then it's good. I need a close above the, ideally I want a close above this line, because this is now a 12-hour chart. The 12-hour chart went bullish on a green 4 going above a green 3. We then spiked from this area of 10,668 up to 11,120. Was that enough for me to raise my stop loss to break even and already be out of this bullish trade, assuming I was trading on a 12-hour time frame? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't take the trade, okay? If I did not raise my stop loss to break even, what am I thinking now? I am tightening that stop loss now. So if I was in this bullish trade as of 10,668, and that trade is now losing me money, I would tighten up that stop loss. If my initial stop loss was, say, below this candle's low, and if you want to understand my thought process on entries, exits, and stop losses, there's a in the workshop section. If my initial stop loss was here, it would not be there anymore because I would have expected this candle to close above 11,000 and the continuation of the bullish trend. Where would my stop loss be right now? At a minimum, my stop loss would be at the low of this candle. It is very possible I'm already out of this long trade using 12-hour charts. Most likely, however, I would tighten the stop loss to the current candle's low. We have 10 hours to go in this candle, and it already dipped down once. When I go to the 4-hour chart, you guys will probably see what I mean. I don't need to go to the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart. I can already imagine what's going on there. At this point, I don't like it going to a new 3-candle low on a 12-hour candle. I don't want to see it go to a new 24-hour low. When it does, I'm going to anticipate more downside. Here's the 4-hour chart, okay? The low that I'm talking about was just made on this 2-candle holding the moving average. I don't want to wait for this to be taken out. We're still in a bull trend on this 4-hour chart, and now we're in between these two moving averages, but the two moving averages are actually diverging from each other. I don't want to see this thing drop below this death cross. So right now, at this moment in time, my 4-hour chart has flipped. If I'm still in that bullish trade based on a 12-hour chart, I would have my stop loss at these lows, or maybe I would have it a little lower than that. Let's say 10,400. It's just below that purple moving average, which is slightly declining. Okay, but I'm not liking the bullish case right here. I can always re-enter this thing back at the $11,000 zone if we're starting to get an entry based on the daily chart. Here's the hourly chart. The hourly chart is holding setup trend. I don't want to see the setup trend broken. If the setup trend is broken on the hourly basis, because it was right here, right? The hourly chart, oh, wow, I did not even know that. So last night, I think I was already watching the fight, or driving to my friend's place to watch the fight. Right here, the hourly tops on a 913. The following candle did swing you higher and then got crushed. Okay, this thing went down to a green 9, reversed off the setup trend, off the green 9, and now consolidating and going lower. I don't want to see this close below the setup trend line. This is not today is not looking like a good day. I don't want to be in those bullish trades. I would just take the stop loss. Again, it depends on your time horizon. If your time horizon is weekly, you have to stay in the bullish trade, wait for the candle to close. Here is the weekly, right? If your time horizon is weekly, the entry for the trade was at 9,440, and it's already swung you lower, so I probably would have been out already on a stop loss or something at some point, probably on this after this reversal candle, but it doesn't matter. If you're still in the long trade based on weekly charts, you need to make sure this doesn't close as a green 6, because then you're still bullish and above the moving average because you're still bullish. The daily chart is getting ready to flip over if we have some strength. That's it. That's Bitcoin right now. Oh, the hour just flipped over. Yeah, I don't like it. From a short-term perspective, if you're a short-term trader, if you're a day trader, I don't like it right now. I would not be long. If I'm always wrong, stop watching. No one is forcing you to. All right. There's nothing else to really look at. Ethereum, if it breaks this red line, it gets very ugly. And this red line is at 0.021 Bitcoin. And Litecoin is hanging in there, consolidating as well. Had a good rally off the 9 reversal candle, and is just give it time. We'll see which way it goes. No, it's neutral. There's no opinion here. Bakkt is supposed to launch like Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see what it means. I don't really know. None of these markets are trading. No comment on gold. I need to see the start of the week. No comment on oil. Need to see the start of the week. I do think the dollar is bullish and foreign currencies are bearish against the dollar. I think the S&P 500 is toppy here, but it can prove me wrong next week. I would be out of the S&P at the moment. Don't have much more to say. I'll look at your questions. Well, I just explained where the weekly needs to close for me to be bullish. I need this to be a 6. How does this become a 6? Well, if you go to tonebase.com, click on education, click on learn trading, and read the links in section 6, all of the TD links, especially this one, Bloomberg Market Essentials. In order for me to stay bullish, the weekly needs to close above this candle's high. Above this candle's close. And this candle's close is 10,832. So if Bitcoin can close above 10,832 this week, I remain bullish, right? And I became bullish somewhere over here late. I'll admit it. I became bullish late. Rather be, late than sorry. People forget that I was bullish at 4,000. I just didn't think we can go up this fast. USD versus the Swiss franc. I haven't looked at currencies in a while. I have my currencies watch list. USD versus the franc. Oh yeah, look at this beautiful 9. I wonder if this was part of the notification service. The notification service, we're gonna open that up for payment soon. You get a little bit of an early bird discount and can help us beta test the system. Yeah, this is a bearish chart. Now this is US dollars in Swiss francs, right? So this is how much Swiss francs you have to pay for a US dollar. So it looks like the Swiss franc is doing well against the dollar. And I guess I have to be, it's kind of generally, it's like a stable coin. I mean, I'm bearish the dollar against franc right now, right? So so it would cost you less Swiss francs to buy a US dollar. And this is in a downtrend. It's already on a 7 and looks like it will keep going. Now the setup trend line is way down here. So as long as you get a 9 above the trend line, there's a higher probability that you're gonna go up this way. You see, this 9, quasi 9, closed below its setup trend. So it made sense for the trend to continue going down, even though there was no countdown phase. If this 9 closes above the setup trend line, then you're statistically more likely to reverse. Again, go to education, tone-based education, learn trading, and read the links of section 6. So we did have that in the alerts. Excellent. Thank you, Zazo, for the reminder. So here's how the notification service basically works, right? So what happened was, for those of you that aren't on it, I'm not going to dox myself with my Telegram account again, right? But if I go to the alerts, and by the way, the link for the alerts, which are still free, is in this video description and also pinned to my Twitter. And I scroll up to the chart. What day was this? This would have been like, what, 8 days ago? July 9th. So I'm going to go to July 9th. Where are my dates? Wow, this is a while ago. 9 days ago. What day is this? Where are my days? There it is, July 9th. Okay. So July 9th, Euro USD, USD versus the Swiss franc. This is what was posted in Telegram on the notification service. I wonder if I gave a comment. Sometimes I give comments. I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to read from the notification service. And we posted USD CMF, USD NOK, USD, the Euro chart, and the dollar itself. So that same day, on the 9th, the dollar, here's what the dollar was. This is DXY. So the dollar itself was on a 9, and the dollar was toppy in many currencies. So here's what I wrote. USD has been on a bit of a bullish run. This is a good time for it to take a 1 to 4 day break before continuing to rise. As you guys know, I have been a dollar bull for half of a decade now. So I did warn that these 9s could lead to a 1 to 4 candle correction. Now, clearly, if we go back to the Swiss franc, 1, 2, 3, that was the 4th candle. That's I don't know if that's a great trade in the FX world. It only moved about 1%, but the FX world is leveraged as hell. I never liked trading FX. I never really traded FX. So that's up to you guys, right? Now, clearly, this has been longer than a 1 to 4 candle correction. There is a whole webinar on entries, exits, and stop losses. How would I have played this 9 if I decided to trade the franc dollar pair? I would have taken I could have potentially started to short on the 9 itself, but combining reversal candles like dojis and the sequential, the perfect entry is right here. That's where you short when the following candle starts trading below the doji. Where do you set your stop loss? You set your stop loss right there above the doji, okay? This is what my webinar on entries, exits, and stop losses does. Now, one of Tone Vase's rules. How much am I risking? Correct. How much am I risking? I am risking 0.28%. How much do I need to gain in this trade in order to lower my stop loss to break even? 0.28%. So by the time the next candle closed, I am already ready to set this to a break-even stop. Done. This trade went down over 1%. I was only looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. But if it keeps going, I will stay with the short trade. What happens after that candle? After this candle, I set my stop loss right here. Now, very likely, I am even interested in taking the bullish trade. If I take the bullish trade on this red 4 going above this red 3, same rules. How much am I risking? Crap. I am risking 0.37%. Did I make 0.37% on that trade? I did. My entry candle and the following candle made me 0.54. Once that happens, I am setting a break-even stop. I have made more than I was risking. I will not turn a winning trade into a loser. This is tone-based rule number 3 for those that have attended my workshops. There is a high probability that my stop loss goes below this candle's low once this candle ends. And that means I am out of a bad trade with a profit on July 18th. And it's too late for me to go to the downside because it's already on a daily 7. There's your free lesson on entries, exits, and stop losses. And if you want to learn more, please check out the on-demand video, okay? And this trade becomes interesting because the notification service told you that there is a 9 in the US dollar Swiss franc pair right there. And now you're watching this candle. Okay. Let me see if there's anything interesting in the notifications from yesterday. Oh, back. So this is also from the notification service. And I'm actually curious how the candle closed. So this is SBA. I have that chart. Now let's go back to US equities. SPAC. There you are. Was that on a weekly scale? It was on a weekly scale. So right. So what we did was here, we notified that this particular stock was on a 9 in the beginning of the week. And then we also sent a follow-up saying that, hey, while it was a 9 in the beginning of the week, it had closed as a price flip candle. All right, let me look at your other live chat. Someone is saying, I see Bitcoin as a descending triangle on the daily. I did not notice it, so I am going to go back and take a look. Do I see Bitcoin in a descending triangle on a daily? I don't. I don't see it on a daily because I don't have, I can't draw a horizontal line with 3 points because even if I touch this wick, I'm going through these bodies. I also can't draw a very good slanted line. So I do not see a descending triangle here. What I see, and I drew it on a 4-hour chart, is a downward channel. That's what I see. So I don't see a descending triangle. I see this. If we, that's a good question. I was watching you yesterday and you said you are very bullish on Bitcoin long-term. Closing above 11,120, you are bullish short-term in what time frame? I don't need to close above 1120. I just need to start trading above it today. Okay, so we don't need to close. I want to see a close above 11, right? So the close that I want to see is a close above 10,830. ideally above 11, but a close at 10,900 is very, very promising to me. So how far would I be bullish on this? Well, unfortunately, only as far as this pink line at first. But if we can break this pink line, if we can break out of this descending channel, which may have been drawn a little prematurely, but I like having 2 points on each side of the channel, that's enough for me, okay? So I would only be bullish up until the top of the channel. But if we can break the top of the channel, I'm basically bullish Bitcoin the rest of the year into the halving. I think it will end badly and dangerously, but my TA tells me to be bullish at that point. How much will the notification service cost? So we're going to have a end of the year special where it's going to cost you $50 per asset for an asset class for the rest of the year, and or $100 for like all asset classes. And the asset classes that we are launching are crypto, equities, currencies, and commodities. Now, it's not going to be all equities or all commodities, but as many as we can handle, and then we scale them up. I mean, we're trying to automate this. So if we're not able to automate, the entire S&P 500 into the equity sector, then we'll start with like, I don't know, the Dow 30 and maybe the NASDAQ 100, something like that, right? And maybe S&P 100, even though there's a lot of overlap in those three. And then we add more assets with the automation, right? Because we actually have to build our own charts, and it's a big effort. So thank you guys that are working on it. So it'll be kind of cheap for the rest of the year, and then after that, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how useful it is. We'll see how people react to it. And potentially next year, prices will probably double. So you got to get in early. Please take a look at my shitcoin video from 2 days ago, and we talked about shitcoins, including Link. I believe I referred to Link as the best 3-legged chihuahua in a horse race in shitcoin land. But then there was a better one. BNB turned out to be a chihuahua with 4 legs, and so that was the winner. After following you for some time, do you truly believe that Bitcoin will be the only cryptocurrency in the future, or will there be a market such as fiat markets, such as USD, Euro, and Yen? I believe that Bitcoin will be the only cryptocurrency, the way gold is the only precious metal of monetary value. Now, of course, people will scream silver, 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 and maybe they have some merit, but if you read Seyfedin's book, it throws a huge bucket of cold water on that. But even if there is something there besides Bitcoin, it's not even going to be close, right? Like look at silver, right? Silver, according to geological data, is 17 times more rare, is more abundant than gold, right? So the gold to silver ratio in the ground is approximately 17 or 20 to 1. But the production of silver can go up greatly if the value of silver goes up. That's why it's struggling. Recently, the ratio between gold and silver, which I should probably pull up a chart of. Give me a second, guys. So I have a gold-silver ratio. Here's my gold-silver ratio. I looked at it a few months ago. So this ratio really got out of control, right? I mean, this ratio got to 93. Um, and I need to remove this byline because I no longer believe this, but it was just there for historical chart purposes. But I no longer believe this. Now, even if there is a silver to Bitcoin's gold, I know Litecoin wants that claim, Monero is also wants that claim. Even if there is a silver to Bitcoin's gold, I have absolutely no idea which one it's going to be. So there's absolutely no reason for me to guess and invest in second best, right? There's no reason for that. It's a huge long shot, right? And it's not like you're placing a bet. Like if you know, what's his name? Um, oh man, what's that? The record holder in the sprint? Is it the Jamaican guy? Shit. Um, anyway, if you know the fastest sprinter in the world, you can bet on somebody else winning that race, but um, but you're doing it with odds, right? Um, I actually wanted to place a bet on Pacquiao last night. Bolt, thank you. Usain Bolt. That's right. Just his name just slipped my mind. Um, so, I mean, why are you going to bet on someone else in that race unless A, you have insider information, or B, you're taking the odds, right? There's odds there. If Usain Bolt is 100-1 favorite to win the race, taking a long shot on someone else pays you 100-1. That's why we have odds makers. There's no odds makers here, right? If you're betting on second best, it's a 1-1 bet, right? Like, sure, if you're right, you make more money, but that's a long shot. Uh, and even if you're right and you do win that, yes, I was right about the second best, you still could probably make more money by betting on the best, right? It's anyway, bad analogy. Probably didn't come out right. I was already in London this year. I don't think I'll make it back. I don't see why the Vanguard S&P ETF is going to be any different than the SPY. We can look at it. I mean, what? It looks like it's out of Europe. Probably trades different hours. This is the weekly scale. Waiting for TD. I'm in the woods. Internet connection is not great. Yeah, it's on a sequential and combo 13, just like the S&P. The professional traders are taking this very, very seriously. There's no other counts involved. See, we reversed right here, came close to a moving average. We hit a 9. We did not pull back. So what are the tone vase rules? What do I need? I need a 2 going above a 1, above the 9. We didn't get the 2 above a 1, but we got the 2 above the 9 with a bullish candle, after that being a reversal candle. So what does that mean for your entry? Did you enter a little prematurely at the end of this day? Maybe. Would I have done it? What happened? Did it take a week off? Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a weekly chart. I'll go back to the daily. So that was the end of the week. I probably would have waited till Monday, and on Monday, I probably would have potentially taken the long trade early on in that week, and I probably would have gotten stopped out. But if I had huge confidence in the countdown and sequential, which a lot of professionals do, you stick with the trade, and this is where you exit on a reversal candle with a combo and sequential 13 weekly. Now on a daily scale, it still looks pretty bullish. Look at this beautiful 9 at 9 top. And this is the daily countdown phase. Oh, look at this beautiful 9 low off the moving average, off the bullish engulfing reversal. This is what you call lining up your ducks, okay? This is your ducks in a row. Now, this was also a tradable bounce, right? Now, this trade still wasn't perfect. Let's, I do need to get going, guys. I can't do these forever. But here's your quick lesson. Hold on, I'm having like some construction done here. I don't know if you guys can hear the background noise or not. Off of this 9, you have broken setup trend. So already, here's what I'm thinking. This green 9 should only lead to a 1 to 4 candle correction to the upside, and then enter the countdown phase to a 13. That's exactly what happened. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4 candle correction, and we entered the countdown phase. Now, what happens here? I have 3 reasons to be bullish and 1 reason to be bearish. What is my reason to be bearish? My reason to be bearish. I'll be on 5 minutes. My reason to be bearish is the fact that we're only on a 7 of 13 sequential. What are my reasons to be bullish? I'm approaching the 200-day moving average. I'm bouncing off of it. I had a 9, and I have a monster bullish engulfing. Now, granted, this is not a bearish candle. I understand that. This is not a perfect bullish engulfing, but it looks like a bullish engulfing to me, okay? This could potentially only lead to a 1 to 4 candle correction, but it just went straight up, so you stay with it. Right here, this 9, by not correcting, entered the countdown phase, supported by the golden cross. Oops. And up we go. In its path, we got to an aggressive, a sequential, and a combo was still lurking. I would be out on this combination of daily sequential and weekly sequential with reversal candle. I would not be in the S&P. I would not be in this ETF right now. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. It's time for me to get going. Once again, please check out Learn Trading, where you can read about the sequential and other tools that I like to use in my trading. If you want to attend the next workshop, which is actually really critical, it's on risk management and money management and account management to make sure that you can have 20 bad trades in a row, like I potentially would have if I was trading Bitcoin this year, and still remain in the game. And my calendar's here. And if you want to support, check out the affiliate links. Okay, guys. No one joined me today. Tone Vase, checking out from the woods. And I will see you all on the next one.